All right, let's look at another couple examples with adding and subtracting fractions when we have unlike denominators. Now you got to remember, anytime you're adding and subtracting fractions, you're only going to deal with two fractions. So let's take the fraction 1/2, and let's take the fraction 1/6. And let's say we're going to go ahead and add these two fractions. Now, the one thing that you always want to do when you're adding and subtracting fractions is you want to make sure you have two fractions, and I do. I have 1/2 and 1/6. Then you want to make sure that they're vertically aligned. They're going up and down. And the next thing you want to do is you want to look at their denominators, and you want to see if they're like or unlike. Well, I have a 2, that's my denominator, and 1/2, and a 6, that's my denominator, and a 1/6. As you can see, both those numbers are not alike, so we cannot continue. We need to go ahead and turn them into like denominators, and this is how we found equivalent fractions earlier, but this time we know the number we're going to pick. So, watch very carefully. I have two fractions. I'm going to take my bottom denominator on the top fraction, and I'm going to slide it down. I'm going to take the 2, and I'm going to write it down here with my multiplication symbol. Then I'm going to take my 6, my denominator here, and I'm going to slide it up to the top, and I'm going to write 6. And then I'm also going to write my multiplication symbol. Now, I have a times 6 with my denominator up here, but I have nothing with my numerator, so I also have to write a times 6. Okay? And then when I go down here, I have a times 2 with my denominator. I also have to have a times 2 with my numerator. I am now creating new fractions. I'm going to change this fraction and this fraction to an equivalent fraction that I can add by. So I know that 1 times 6 equals 6, and I know that 2 times 6 equals 12. Now let's go down to my bottom fraction. I know that 1 times 2 equals 2, and I know that 6 times 2 equals 12. I went ahead and I just created two entirely new fractions. I know that 1/2 is equivalent to 6/12, and I know that 1/6 is equivalent to 2/12. I just went through and I created a new problem. I carried over my operation addition, which I wrote right here. Now I'm going to add 6/12 plus 2/12. I have like denominators. The 12 and the 12 is the same, so I can go ahead and drop the denominator. And I know that 6 plus 2, 6 plus 2, equals 8. 8/12. Now, you wouldn't get full credit for this answer. Why? Because it's not in simplest form. You need to take the 8/12 here, and you need to simplify it any way that you would like. So I could say that both of these you could divide by 2. And I know that 8 divided by 2 equals 4. And I know that 12 divided by 2 equals 6. But you still wouldn't get credit for this problem because it's still not in simplest form. I would know that both 4 and 6 can still be divided by 2 for a final answer of 2/3. I now know that 1/2 plus 1/6 equals 2/3.